criteria for classification. It means what are features we consider to classify these organisms. Okay. For example, earthworm under annelids, and then starfish under echinoderms, and then sponges, they are under poriferans, and we, the humans, under mammals. How we classify these organisms, or which characters we consider to classify these? That is actually criteria for classification. Different criteria are there. One is level of organization, and then body plan is there, and then symmetry, then germ layers, then coelom, then notochord, and then what, metamerism or segmentation, and then circulatory system. Okay, so these are the things we need to discuss. The first one is level of organization. Okay, so level of organization, it means, see, for the survival of any organism, let us take our example, that means for the survival of humans or any kind of organism, there should be grouping together of different kinds of organ systems, right? For example, to digest our food, we should have what? Digestive system, right? And then for transport nutrients and oxygen to our cells, we should have what? Circulatory system, okay? And then to expel out the nitrogenous waste from our body, we should have what? Excretory system, right? So that means each and every organism carry different organ systems, okay? So different organ systems are there. And if you observe each and every organ systems, you can see that it is made of different organs. For example, this digestive system, it carry what? Mouth, then stomach, esophagus, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. Okay. And then what about the circulatory system? It consists of heart, blood vessels, and blood. And then excretory system carry kidneys, then ureters, urinary bladder, and all. Okay. So see, this each and every organ system is made of what? Different organs. Okay. And if you observe each and every organ, you can see that it is made of different tissues. For example, for its protection, epithelial tissue should be there. And then for supplying nutrients and oxygen, which tissue? That is the blood should be there. That means the connective tissue should be there. And then what? For its movement, muscular tissue. And then for its coordination, what is needed? Neural tissue or nervous tissue is needed. Okay. So that means each and every organ is made of different what? Tissues. Clear? And tissues are actually the grouping of what? Cells. Clear? So this is the level of organization. Some organism, they carry only cells. The simpler organism like poriferans, they carry only cells. And some organism carry tissues or organs, and the higher organism like humans carry the highest level of organization called organ system level of organization. Okay. So that is different level of organization. One is cellular. Here only what is present? Cells. Example, porifera. And and the next is tissue level of organization. Here only tissues. Example, Coelenterata, Ctenophora. And here organ level organization, only organs. Example, Platyhelminthes. And the highest level of organization, that is the organ system level of organization. Here organ systems are present in their body. Example, from Aschelminthes to mammals. Okay. And next is the body plan. Body plan, three types: cell aggregate, and then blind sac, and then tube within a tube body plan. Here only cells are present and no digestive tract. Okay, body cavity is there, but digestive tract or alimentary canal is absent. Such a body plan is called as cell aggregate body plan. Example, porifera. And the next two types, blind sac and tube within a tube body plan. What is the difference between this sac and tube? Sac and tube. Sac means what? Like this, right? That means only one opening, while tube means two openings are there. So this is the difference. So here the digestive system is with what? Only one opening, and such a digestive system is called as incomplete. Okay. Example, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes. And the next type is tube within a tube body plan. Here, how many openings? Two openings are there. Mouth and anus is present. And this digestive system is called as what? Complete digestive system. Okay. Example, from Aschelminthes to mammals. Clear? And the next thing is symmetry. It is actually the distribution of body parts. Okay. And it is of two different types, asymmetric and symmetric. That means if the body cannot be divided into two equal halves at any plane, those organisms are called as asymmetrical organisms, and the symmetry is called as what? Asymmetry. Example, sponges, that is the phylum Porifera. And the next type is the symmetrical organisms. Here the body can be divided into two equal halves. It is of two different types. That means if the body can be divided into two equal halves by cutting through any plane passing through the central axis. That means like this, any plane passing through the central axis, such a symmetry is called as what? Radial symmetry. That is radial symmetry. Example, Coelenterata, Ctenophora and echinoderms. One importance is here, adult echinoderms, they show what? Radial symmetry, but they are larvae. That means the echinoderm larvae, they show bilateral symmetry. What is this bilateral symmetry? That is, by the body can be divided into two equal halves by cutting through only one plane, that is the median vertical plane, like this. Example, Hylophila. Clear? And next is the germ layers. That is, this is one of embryonic stage called gastrula, which is three layered. Okay, that is outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and inner endoderm. And on the basis of the presence of and on the basis of the number of germ layers present in the gastrula stage, organisms can be classified into two. One is diploblastic and the other one is triploblastic. Okay, diploblastic means only two germ layers, that is outer ectoderm and inner endoderm. While triploblastic means three germ layers are present, outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and inner endoderm. Clear? And here this diploblastic organisms, in between ectoderm and endoderm, another gelatinous layer is present, and that is called as what? Mesoglea. Okay. Then one more thing, in poriferans, this mesoglia like substance is present, and in them it is called as mesohyle. Clear? That means mesohyle is present in porifera, mesoglea is present in Coelenterata, and while other organisms or higher organisms are triploblastic. Diploblastic example, I told you two germ layers. Example, Coelenterata and Ctenophora. And then triploblastic, three germ layers are there. Example, Platyhelminthes to mammals. Okay. And the next feature is the coelom. This is the gastrula stage, outer ectoderm. This is the ectoderm, and then this is the mesoderm, and this is what? Endoderm. Okay. And we know these are the germ layers or embryonic layers, and we discussed this thing in our previous video. That is, these layers are called as what? Germ layers or embryonic layers, and from these layers different tissues are forming or different organs are forming. Okay. And from this ectoderm, body wall is forming, and endoderm, the gut or alimentary canal is forming. And the space between this body wall and the gut or alimentary canal is called as mesoderm, and this is called as coelom, and this coelom should be lined by which embryonic layer? Mesoderm. And on the basis of this type of coelom, organisms can be classified into three: eucoelomate, pseudocoelomate and acoelomate. Okay, so eucoelomate means the organism possesses the coelom that we discussed now. That means coelom is present or the body cavity is present, which is fully or completely covered by or completely lined by which germ layer? Mesoderm. Okay, see, so this is the body wall and this is the coelom. This is the body wall and this is what? Coelom, and then this is gut. Okay, and see this coelom here, coelom is lined by which layer? Mesoderm. Entirely lined by mesoderm. So such a group is called as, such a coelom is called as eucoelom. And what about the pseudocoelom? Here cavity is present, but the mesoderm is not complete. Instead, mesoderm is seen as scattered cells. Okay. So such a coelom is called as pseudocoelom. That means cavity is present, but it is not mesodermally lined. Clear? And then the last thing, acoelom. Here cavity itself is absent. This is the cavity, but this is entirely occupied by which cells? Mesodermal cells. Okay, so if cavity is present and that is mesodermally lined, cavity, coelom is present and completely lined by mesoderm, it is called as eucoelom. And then pseudocoelom, coelom is present but not completely lined by mesoderm, that is cavity with scattered mesodermal cells or pouches, it is called as pseudocoelom. And then coelom is absent and the cavity characterized by the presence of mesodermal cells, it is called as acoelom. Coelom, example Platyhelminthes, and then Pseudocoelom, example Aschelminthes, and then Eucoelom, example annelids to mammals. Okay. And what is the coelom? We discussed it is a fluid-filled space between body wall and alimentary canal which accommodate internal organs and it acts as shock absorber. Okay. And the next feature is notochord. This is the gastrula stage, outer ectoderm, middle mesoderm and inner endoderm. And from this mesoderm, a rod-shaped structure should be derived. And this is called as notochord. Okay, and which is rod-shaped. So, mesodermally derived, dorsally placed. See, this is the embryonic stage, and this is the ventral surface, and this is what dorsal surface. And here is the notochord. This is the notochord. Okay, so this is the notochord, and that means it should be dorsally placed. Okay, and so rod shaped, and this is a structure that formed during what embryonic development. And if this particular structure is present, it comes under chordates, and if this structure is absent, it comes under non-chordates. And next, metamerism or segmentation, that is, it is property of having repeated segments. See, this is here, this is the diagram of tapeworm, and this is earthworm. Okay. And here you can see the body is divided into different segments. Okay, different segments are there, and here the segmentation is only external, and such a metamerism is called as pseudometamerism. Example, Platyhelminthes. Okay. And then this is earthworm. Here you can see the external segmentation as well as internal segmentation. That means inside the body also it is divided into different segments. Okay, that means both external and internal segmentation, and such a metamerism is called as true metamerism. Example, not Aschelminthes. Example, annelids. So annelids are the example for what? True metamerism. And the last feature is circulatory system. Two types, open and closed. If the blood is flowing through opened spaces, it is called as open circulatory system. Here the internal organs are in direct contact with the blood. Okay. While the higher phyla organisms, here example arthropods, while the higher phyla organisms, the blood is flowing through closed blood vessels. Okay. So such a circulatory system is called as closed circulatory system. So this is about the criteria for classification.